Hello, my name is Isaac Medina, and I'm an atmospheric scientist. I use computer models of the atmosphere to study Earth's climate system. Now, my interests are in freshwater sustainability and clean air. And in order to fulfill those goals in a changing climate, it requires the collaboration and the cooperation of all citizens. And what that means is that we have to effectively communicate our science. If people don't understand the science behind climate change and mitigation, what we are doing as scientists is pointless, it's useless, it's going to have no effect. I also strongly believe that we have to go beyond silo science to tackle these real-world problems. I have extensively done research here at Colorado State University, particularly interdisciplinary research, through the Integrative Water, Atmosphere, and Ecosystem Research PhD program. And with that program, over the past 3 years, I've had the opportunity to work with various departments, such as economics, engineering, hydrology, and even ecology, just to name a few. And in these different departments, I've had the opportunity to work with different PhD students on different projects related to climate change. Some of these projects included the impacts of climate change on alpine lakes in the Rocky Mountains, as well as the impacts of climate change on freshwater sustainability along the Front Range urban corridor. And with all of these projects, we looked at various data sets and data types. For example, in situ measurements such as rain gauge data, river gauge data, as well as snow depth and snow melt from snow tell sites, for example, along the Rocky Mountains. We also looked at modeled data, for example, large-scale climatic simulations that were downscaled for all of these various projects. And all of these data sets were combined with an accounting framework. For example, the triple bottom line was used quite extensively. And we looked at the impacts of climate change on the economy, on society, and the environment. And what we did is we created visualizations, which included spatial maps, time series plots, as well as simulations. And all of these visualizations were done in a variety of ways to accommodate varying audiences, such as scientists, the general public, students ranging from elementary school all the way up to college level. And much of this data and these projects were presented at scientific technical conferences, such as the American Geophysical Union Conference in San Francisco, California. Some of this data was represented and presented at elementary school science fairs, also to the general public, in conferences that were geared towards the general public. And I can tell you many people outside of these fields were very happy and very pleased with the way that these data were presented. They were able to identify their roles in the mitigation process in terms of climate change and sustainability. I believe that I am a strong candidate for the environmental planner position. I have a strong background in interdisciplinary research. I also have a desire for outreach, particularly the underrepresented groups that are not as proactive and maybe have very little knowledge when it comes to climate change and sustainability. I have a great interest in research, development, analysis, and the reporting of metrics. And I believe I'll be a great asset to the city of Fort Collins as well as the surrounding region. I'm also a great fan in implementing and the continuation of the implementation of the city's climate action plan, as well as the various air quality programs that are already in place. So thank you very much for your time and for your consideration.